Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. To make this decoration, I've got a piece of cardboard which I've just taken from a box, and the measurement from there to there is 46 centimeters, and from the top to the bottom is 86 centimeters. And all I'm going to do is I'm taking this emerald green paint and I'm going to paint the whole board, and then I'm going to highlight it with apple green. So now while the paint is still wet, I'm going in with the apple green colour, and I'm just starting in the middle and just doing random stripes outward. So and then just do the other side like that as well. And then while everything is still wet, I'm taking some of my glitter and I'm going to just sprinkle some glitter on. And then we're going to put that aside to dry. To make the cauldron that sits at the bottom of the banner, I've got a spare piece of polystyrene which I'm just going to draw the cauldron on here, and then I'm going to cut it out and shape it using a rasp and some sandpaper. So now I'm just going to cut it out. I'm going to give it a little bit of extra room, about 1 centimeter, so that I can shape it. So I'll be cutting along the dotted line. I've cut the cauldron out now. Now I'm going to take a rasp and I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle so I can round it all off so that it looks like a cauldron. When you're working with polystyrene, please wear a mask. So taking your rasp and just going down at a 45-degree angle and just prick round the sides off so that that part will round. And just keep going until you've taken all the sides down. Once you've cut out your piece, take another piece of polystyrene and just trace around that piece and cut that one out, and try and get the ridge where it's going to go round so it'll look like that, and then cut that one out as well. Now trace around just the top part there and cut out another piece so we can glue that onto there and shape that one. So I've cut the piece out a little bit bigger than what it should be. That's what we're going for. And now we're going to take this and round this whole section off. So now you have your two pieces like this. So what you're going to do is on this second piece you've cut out, you're going to shape it so that it looks like a dome. So once again, going at a 45-degree angle, but you might have to go a little bit deeper so that you can actually get it going around like that. So it's starting to make a dome shape. Now that you've partly got a dome shape, when you have a look at it, glue them together and then file this so that it makes it nice and smooth. Before you glue this one onto the other piece, make sure that you use your 240 grit sandpaper and sand that as smooth as what you can get it. And then it will fit on like that. Once you're happy with the shape, turn it over and then take this section down so that we can put our coins in here. Like that, and just continue until you've got that 45-degree angle. So when it lies flat against the cardboard, we can fill this section with the coins. Now take your 240 grit sandpaper and sand it all smooth. So when you've sanded it as smooth as you can get it, now I'm going to paint it black. To make the polystyrene rough where I want to put the coins, I'm taking a steak knife and I'm just scraping all the top surface off, and it gives you a nice textured look like that. So what I've done with that polystyrene that I was working with, I've made a platform with a bit of another platform so that I can glue my coins on it, and so that it makes it look magical. It looks like a floating mountain. I've put some polystyrene underneath that as well, so when it sits on my banner it will be flat, and then I'm going to paint this all to look like rock. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some grass to my little rock section. I'm using PVA glue, and if you'd like to see how I made my grass, I will leave a link in the description box. Once you spread the glue, use the other hand so that you don't get all the grass stuck on your fingers, and just squash it on. You've got your little clumps of grass. Now I'm going to put that aside to dry. The paint is dry on my painting, so now I'm going to be adding the border. So what I've got is I've got some green masking tape which we're going to put around the side, and then I've got this rather attractive looking, they call it metallic ribbon, and I'm going to be placing that all the way around. Then on the corners I'm measuring in from that line down by 5 centimeters, and I'm putting 2 strips on. I'm going to be taking some double-sided tape and I'm going to be going around the outside here so I can put the metallic ribbon on that. When you're using double-sided tape, try and work in small areas so that you can get your ribbon straight. This is very difficult for me to show you because it's hard to see it. My squares are 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters. So what I've done is I've divided it into 2 to give me my 3.5 centimeters. Now on either side of the 3.5 you want to get 2 millimeters and 2 millimeters and draw 2 parallel lines. And from the same centerpiece, again, going 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters, and drawing 2 parallel lines. So you've got your lines going like that. Now I'm going to take my marker and just draw them in. I'm using this metallic fine liner paint pen to draw my designs in the corners. So that's the centre lines drawn. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go from one corner, one piece that's sticking out, and you're going to draw pretty much a curly 3. So you're going to go round and do a curl in the middle and then come back and meet that line. Very hard to see, but that's what you're doing on the 4 corners. So that's the design in the corner. To make it a wee bit easier, what you can do is you can cut out the shape of a heart as a template. So I'm going to be doing that particular design in all 4 corners on my board. To do my lettering for my wording, I've bought this pack of alphabet glitter stickers, but now unfortunately this particular pack, it was the last one that they had, has only got 2 H's in it, so I'm not going to be able to do my entire wording in this. I have to write some of the words. So at the top of my page on my board, just here, I'm going to be writing "May the" in writing, and the stickers will be put here, "Luck of the Irish." You can write it in whatever font that you would like to. I don't have a particular font, I just am writing in some fancy writing. I'm going to do the writing in my 2 paint pens, so they're both gold. So I've completed my writing, and that's the writing that I'm going for. I've placed the lettering how I think I would like it to be, and now I'm going to just stick those down. And then I've got these shamrock coins, which I'm just putting next to the word luck. I'm going to be gluing the cauldron to the rock, and then I'm going to glue all the gold coins on. So I've worked out where I want my cauldron to sit, and now I'm going to be putting the rainbow in. Now I just have to be careful when I'm putting it in that I don't go through Irish, so it's going to have to be a smallish rainbow that's just going to go like that. And I'm going to be doing the rainbow in these beautiful rhinestone stickers. So there's my rainbow complete, minus the indigo, because nobody ever gives you that colour to work with. So I have a 6-colour rainbow. I've got these coins that unfortunately they're not the lucky coins, they're just the children's pirate coins. I'm just taking those to use in my cauldron, and what I'm doing is I'm taking a pair of aviation shears and I'm cutting them in half. You can snap them. I find this is quite easy. It cuts it into a few pieces. This one unfortunately cut into 3 pieces, which is still usable, but I want it in 2 pieces, so we'll give it a try again. That should be quite fine. I've glued all my coins in place where I want them to pretend they've fallen out of the cauldron, and they're all sitting on the rocks now. I'm going to complete my writing in this section of here of to be with you, and then I'm going to start gluing everything down. Now I'm just taking my thicker pen and just going to go over it just a wee bit in certain sections. So there's my writing completed. Now I'm going to start sticking down everything. If you'd like to see how to make the leprechaun, I'll leave a link in the description box. So I've got all the gold coins in place now, so that the cauldron is really loaded and looks like it's overflowing for the ones on the floor. So I've glued everything on now. We're going to put an attachment up here. I'm using a 0.7 gauge wire, and we're just going to make a little loop or hook so that we can hang that up. So that's what it's looking like so far. So that the wire doesn't tear through the cardboard, what I've done is I've taken an aluminium can and I've just wound it round a skewer, which I'm going to be inserting into the cardboard and then threading the wire through that. So what I've done is I've measured my piece and got the center piece, which is over here, and then I've measured 3.5 centimeters on either side of it to give me a 7 centimeter span, and then I've gone down by 2 centimeters, and that's where I'm going to be putting the holes in. Once it's through, remove your skewer. I've pushed it through all the way to the other side so I can trim at the back, so I've got a clean edge in the front. And there's a little piece of metal in the hole. Now just do the other side. So now I'm taking the 0.7 gauge wire and it's 27 centimeters long, and then I'm just going to thread that through. And then on the back, just attach it by turning the wires together. And then flattening it. Now the reason why I'm using wire is because, as you can see, the picture is quite heavy on the one side. So when you use the wire, you'll be able to balance it a little bit better than if you use cloth or a ribbon or something like that, because what I can do now is once that's up, I can bend it how I want so that it sits straight. So now I'm going to take a wee piece of the masking tape that we had and just place it over the wires to neaten it off so you don't notice them. And then on the back, just here, glue your wire down. I've put the tape on now, so there you can see it completely covers it, and now it's just ready to be hung up. Because my little picture is going to be in such a dark place, I'm going to be using these warm white lights, these tiny little fairy lights, to go all the way around the picture. So they just give a very, very nice little warm glow, although that on video looks rather bright. To attach the small lights, I'm just going to be using the same masking tape. I'm just attaching them as in this one here, and then I'll trim that all off. So there, all the lights are attached, and now it's completed. That's what it looks like. There will be a final video of all the decorations that I've made once they're all in place, but right now we have very bad weather, so none of the decorations are actually going to be going up. I've had to change the writing and just use my large gold marker, as you couldn't see it from a distance. There's my little sign completed with the chains running around it, and now I'll put the lights on, and there the lights are all on. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.